are long and dreary, and the sun refused to shine. I'd never be blue and lonely if I knew that you were mine. Well, baby, why don't you make everything all right? Now, will it be today, baby, or will it be tomorrow night? This is my confession, mama, and I'm thrilled for all your charm. You know that I'm in heaven when you hold me in your arms. Well, baby, and I have you for myself. You were meant for me, mama. I don't want nobody else. Oh, yeah.
Did you want me to turn that book that way or what? Turn it this way? Oh, like this? Now, when this picture was taken, this had to be during the Dave Dexter days, you see. So that was right around 1938. Now, that was our first trip to Savoy Ballroom in New York. Lucky, you know, us on guitar. Gene Ramey on bass, Gus Johnson on drums, Bob Mabine tenor sax, Les Bird on alto, John Jackson on alto, Freddie Culliver on tenor. Now, you notice there was only 4 saxophones. Well, later on, after we got to make a little bit more money, then we were able to add the baritone sax. That time, we had just used the 4. Our first record was made in Dallas. Dave told us, he says, what I'm working on, he says, I want something that we can sell. He says, we've lost about 2 hours and a half. He says, I can't sell it. He said, do y'all know any blues? Yeah. So we played blues down. Do any boogie woogie? Yeah, we played a boogie woogie down. He cut it. So he told us, he said, well, I'll tell you, he said, do another blues. He said, and I'll take one of those other tunes.
Indeed. Thank you, Jay and boys. That little earful was knocked out like the soul of a whip's bud. And now, men, we call on McShann with the Jay frontispiece for a little chopper banging about the winder-upper. Go ahead, Jay.
The boys and I want to do one of our favorite tunes for you. It's called Jump the Blues.
We had a big laugh. We were in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Because I had a big band then. We found out we knew we were supposed to start playing about 9 o'clock. So, well, I guess about 8:30, we all started showing up there at this club. So he thought, by the name being McShann, he was getting a white band. So we got there that night. And the guy came up there, the bandstand. He says, when is the band going to show? We said, well, the band's here. Most of the guys are here, just 1 or 2. And he said, well, wait a minute. He says, it's been a mistake. So he ran up to the office there, and he called this guy that was booking us. Told him, says, hey, what's happening here? Says, you must have made some kind of mistake. This guy says, no, what? He says, well, there's a band here. He says, they got a colored band here. He says, I thought I was buying a white band. So the guy said, no. He says, McShann, that's a colored band. I can remember sometimes when we did as many as 91 nighters in a row, and 91 nighters is mean, you know. During that time, because cats was all young, and they could take it, you know. It didn't make no difference, you know. It was just, you know, if they got tore up tonight, it didn't mean a thing. The next morning, they strong, back and ready to go again. Yeah. Everybody there's one thing about those guys, everybody didn't try to play like Bird. They enjoyed Bird, they loved Bird, but most of those guys were stylish than themselves. There was Piggy Minor, he was, you know, brass man, but he was quite a stylist. But later his teeth got bad, and that shut him off. And Bernard Anderson, he had what they call TB, you know. So the doctor stopped him from playing the brass and trumpet, you know. Muskogee, Oklahoma. Let's see, it was January the 12th, 1916. It was 4 kids in the family, 3 girls and 1 boy. And I'm the boy. I can remember way back, I don't know, I guess it must have been about, maybe 4 or 5 years old, you know. Oh, man, he would just kind of fool around on the piano, you know. And the same thing like with my mother, but they never did, you know. He only had one tune that he knew, and he taught me that tune once. And it's just a little old jazz thing, you know what I mean? Sometimes the bands would come over to school and do 2 or 3 numbers for, we'd call it assembly, you know. My folks, they were pretty Christian-like. They didn't like the idea of me wanting to go to dances and things like that. So if I went, I'd have to, you know, do it in another manner, you know, like sneak off or something, you know.
Hello, little girl, don't you remember me? Hello, little girl, don't you remember me? Now the time ain't been so long, but I've had a break, you see. Well, I'm doing all right, oh yeah. Well, I found a little Cupid doll.
Well, when I first came to Kansas City, see, I didn't have any bread. You know, I guess I probably had about 60 or 70 cents on me. But I ran into one of the guys that I knew from Tulsa, see. He was playing bass with Bus Moten's band, and he's the one that gave me the idea to stay in Kansas City. He said, man, he says, is this where you want to stay? He says, this is where the music is. You don't want to be going to Omaha. He says, come on here, you know. They didn't have a piano player. So I heard the guys talking, well, man, I don't know what we're going to do for a piano player. So I sat and listened to them rehearse, and after I got to rehearsing, then I told one of the guys, I said, well, listen, y'all still need a piano player. I says, I think I can make it. I said, well, I think I can play this stuff. He said, well, why don't you say something, man? You've been sitting down there. Why don't you say something? Come on up. Well, you know, I couldn't read a note of music, you know. They put all this big orchestration out in front of me, you know. But I had heard them rehearsing, so I just went ahead on and played on along with them. They says, man, we got a piano player can read and fake. But I couldn't read a note. Yeah, they thought I was reading, but I was just faking. I kept waiting for the guys to start off. I said, come on, when you guys was... They said, you got it. I said, what? You got it. They said, there it is. You got the first full bars, piano solo. We had been doing a lot of one-night stands. And we did a one-night stand in Kansas City, and that's why they picked me up on this one night in Kansas City. We were taking a break doing intermission, so these two guys come over. They told me, says, we've got to talk to you. He says, it's very important. I said, we hate to do this, but we've got to take you to Leavenworth right now. I said, Leavenworth? I said, well, what's happening in Leavenworth? He says, they've got you up for immediate inductions. He says, they haven't been able to find you, so they've been sending you papers all over the country, and says, we've got to take you right now. When I walked inside the gates, I was in.
Louder and funnier. Play that thing. Louder and funnier.
Oh, I was in the service about 13 months. Well, that broke the band up, you know, right there. I didn't realize that big bands was over with then, just in that short length of time, see, because they had started these small combos. And then most of the dance hall were being converted into bowling alleys. And so I came out, and I went back to New York. In fact, organized in New York City. And so the guys that was doing the booking told me, they said, we know you like the big band sound. They said, but I'll tell you what, says, you might as well forget about it for the time being. They said, because everything is going to be combo. He said, that's it. I'm going to make a right turn here. Now, this John here onto this corner up here on the left. That used to be called the old Kentucky Club. See, that says Dixie Barbecue? Right there on the left. That used to be a nightclub. Used to have those spook breakfasts. It was a funny sight to see people would be on their way to work, sitting out waiting for the streetcar, And they step inside and start listening to the music and the stuff, and they put the dinner bucket down and don't go to work. Stay there and ball. Bunch of guys, and man, you didn't go to work there? No, I stopped by here this morning. I'm still here. The second club I played at, which is right on this corner down here. Now, that was called Wolf's Buffet. You see where that says Delicatessen? That was a club right on that corner there called Wolf's Buffet, right there, with all that red paint. Oh, see, this is 18th and Vine, yeah. You heard him talk about 18th and Vine. This is it.
Yes, Sunday morning, oh, by the river St. Louis. Down there doing light, and someone sneaking, oh, just around the corner. Now can that someone be old Maggie tonight?
Yeah. Hey, all right, what's going on, my man? All right. My hometown man, he's from Oklahoma. John Church, and now his music, now you played, who'd you play with, John?
Oh, I played with a whole lot of them.
He played with a whole bunch of the bands. Now, you could, look here, we'll get out and come on in.
In Hudson, Kansas.
Yeah, that's right.
You know when we was eating like dogs, he was...
Yeah. This is good there. Now, he's the original Scamps. The original Kansas City Scamps, yeah. That is him. Oh, this is not them.
Hey, wait a minute, you wired up here, man. You hooked up.
Come on in here, you old fire. Yeah. All the way around over here. Hey! Bam! Bang! Bang! What's going on? Both these guys are very talented musicians. And, Bone plays guitar, trombone, bass, and piano, whatnot else. And, you know, he used to come out and sit in with the cats, and, you know. Barty, yeah, and he worked with the band. He went on the road with me, you know. Yeah.
When was that? What year?
That was 55, wasn't it? 56. Yeah, you got a good memory. Prof, now he's got the big band. That's Willie Rice. We call him Prof. You know, Prof has been Prof here for many years. And Prof takes care of the big band for me and for everything else that comes along.
Right.
Yeah. Now, that gentleman over there is Fats Dennis. Now, that's Mr. Fats. He used to be fat. That's when he was little.
You take right now, Fats, Piggy Miner, LBRT, Brown over there, Arthur Mitchell, they can get together and do the same thing right now without a rehearsal. So this is unusual. You can only do this in Kansas City. Kansas City musicians, the only one can do this type of thing.
Right.
Get together.
There's a chain of hotels all over the country. Breckenridge, right here in Kansas City, they had Vic Damone in here, Jack Jones, Mills Brothers, Nancy Wilson, all named entertainers. Oh, yeah. And they fell on their face. But they'll come right to a local entertainer and don't want to pay him anything. So you don't want to pay him anything, don't want to pay him anything. And he can make more money for them than the name entertainer. And this goes on all the time. It might go on in your city, I don't know. But it goes on all the time. A local entertainer, I don't care how great he is, he's got to get away from home to make it. And if he gets away from home, he can come back in, then he can clean up, he can make some money.
That's going overseas.
Yeah. It's a funny thing. It happens all over. I guess guys in New York experience the same thing. They got to get away from home to make any money.
Yeah.
Had your concert tethered by Jubilee, direct from Hawthorne Hall under the solid gas veracity of the Armed Forces Radio Service.
that verbs alone.